Hello, guys. Thank you for joining us for this meeting of Right Brains Revolution. Thanks. I see some new people here. That's nice. I see some other that were in the previous meetings. And we're going to continue. And I was thinking yesterday and today about this phenomenon, the worldwide phenomenon of smart robots that we have, the AI and ChatGPT, that I would say represent the peak development of the left brain intelligence, up to a point that people are expecting robots to feel or to be intuitive, which they cannot. This is really the point where we can ask ourselves, what is our unique wisdom that is beyond just knowledge that was accumulated in people? And this is what right brain represents. Intuition, self-love, the ability to transform, to create, to initiate, to sustain a crisis, etc. I would say most of the good stuff that we possess are in our right brain. So today we're going to start looking at what I believe is the heart of right brain's abilities, or even the condition in which nothing will grow without it, self-love. So without many things to say, I would just want to begin. We will watch the video, the first video of the self-love program. And then I'm going to say a few words, and then we have a discussion. Please write to yourself any questions or any insights, anything you would like to comment, to add when we make the discussion later. Okay? So I will share now with you this video, and then later we're going to have some talk about this. Self-love, the highest obligation. My name is Dr. Pinky Feinstein. I am a psychiatrist, but not the usual kind of psychiatrist. I believe in helping people heal themselves through tools that connect between them and their natural self-healing powers. This is how I operate. This is the medicine that I practice, I believe in. And self-love is one of the major tools I know about. In many ways, it is the basis for every other tool. I believe that we cannot progress beyond some point if we don't involve self-love awareness, self-love practice, self-love implementation, self-love communication. Self-love should be an important, significant part of the way we think, the way we operate, the way we choose, the way we handle our conflicts in us and with other people. We need self-love everywhere. As long as we don't have self-love as a major component of who we are working and coping from a state of continuous deficiency. This is the first thing that someone who wishes healing and development and growth should bear in mind. I need to improve my self-love, to ever improve the way I address myself. And I would like to address myself with love. I would like to feel love towards myself, which is not always the same thing as acceptance. I'm talking about love. And my point of view, based on, let's say, 25 years of practice, is that self-love is like a mental muscle. It's not a state that you reach and then you say, okay, I completed my journey and I love myself. No. It's a continuous progress, continuous practice. Once you stop practicing self-love, you take yourself into a place where there is more fear, self-doubt, self-criticism, etc. You need to nurture this part in you over and over again as a basis for a good life. It's like relationship. You cannot say that from now on I gave enough love and the relationship will just go by itself because there is already enough love. No, you always need to nurture, to water, to take care of the relationship, or the relationship will not go to the places you want or even be destroyed. So let's begin our journey. 36 lessons, like this video meeting that we're doing here. We can do it intimately, so you can be only one watching this and going through your personal process, or it can be a part of a group work, which I believe that is most of the time the better way to learn. So, chapter 1, the origin, the reason, and the way to everywhere. As I said in this introduction, I believe that no matter what you want to achieve, no matter what you're coping with, dealing with, want to change, frustrated about, it is always related to your self-love balance. Always. Now let's be clear, self-love is not narcissism. It's not that you're only concerned about yourself, that you're selfish. It's not. In a way, it is selfish not to love yourself. And many people grow with wrong ideas about what self-love means. They grow with the idea that we as people should be good for others before we are good to ourselves. We get many messages like this in the family, in schools, at work, everywhere. And our job as people who would like to have better life, first and foremost from the emotional, spiritual and creative aspects, to insist on getting to know better this field. Because everything begins here. Everything. Self-love is like the positive engine that gives you energy to create, for example, to change, to initiate. If there is no self-love, you don't believe in your goals enough. If there is no self-love, you cannot handle your failures. You judge yourself. You're harsh with yourself. So, we would like here to get to know about self-love. We would like to get rid of all the myths, negative ones, that separate us from having positive and nurturing relationship with ourselves. And we would like to engage in self-love practice continuously, day to day. And this is the way to begin this journey. Before we talk about more sophisticated and complicated parts of the way our soul works and needs self-love, we need to know that this is the basis of everything. Even for the way you believe or you think about things that are greater than you, like God, for example. It is the source, it is the beginning for every relationship you would like to have. It is the source, it is the reason for the right job, the right work, the right decision. All these things, when they are not coming from a significant amount of self-love, will not take you to the place that you wish to go to. On the other hand, whenever self-love is involved, you become braver. You are more connected to your positive and natural passion. You are willing to make mistakes. You encourage yourself when you fall. You're telling yourself that you love yourself, that you believe in yourself, and that you would like you to continue trying. This is the basis for spiritual growth, for creative fulfillment, for almost everything that we would like to have in our lives. So for us, it is a good thing to say that no matter what we're dealing with right now, we would like to stop, take a look, and ask very, very serious questions. In everything that we're dealing with, how about the way I address myself? Am I talking to myself routinely with words of love, compassion, affection? How often do I criticize myself? How often do I address myself with no patience? How often do I judge myself? How often do I punish myself emotionally? These are all places where self-love is deficient, and we can feel this all by practicing by awareness. And this is the journey that you are about to take part in. Thank you for coming here. I believe you made a good decision. All right. Thank you for joining us. Some of you joined during this video. I don't know, I guess that for each of you, there is a different point of view or perspective about this concept, self-love. I met this concept about 30 years ago. It was the foundation. It was the ground in which I developed all my creativity, all my books, all my contribution to mankind was based on self-love. And I believe that self-love is the highest commitment, highest obligation, that actually nothing significant can grow without it. And as far as Right Brain's revolution, I would say that the revolution begins here. And as Right Brain likes to do, we can approach this topic from many directions. Right Brains doesn't work in one direction, not in a linear fashion. We can enter this challenge from many avenues and always get to the right point. So, for example, the concept of love. One of the, let's say, most important thing for people eventually, more than everything else, we desire love, we think about love. We hurt love, we're looking for love. It is always a kind of a challenge, a goal, something that we never have enough, something we have fights about. I believe that love begins within love. The language of love, even the experience, the essence, the way I know love, it begins inside. And this is one thing that, let's say, the more kind of left brain culture prevents us from learning from early childhood, learning about love. Well, nobody teaches love currently, but this will be a part of the revolution. One of my goals is actually to train self-love teachers for children. In times, parents will be their first teachers, or maybe they will be the teachers for their children. And currently, the messages I'm saying here from Israel, definitely, the message is that your job as a human being, as a good person, is to contribute something to the society. To be good to others is allegedly more important than to be good to yourself. If you are too good to yourself, then you are selfish, egocentric, etc. And we are taught to deny actually love from ourselves, and many people, many children are judged for loving themselves too much. They're getting the message that the relationship that you have with you is not important as the relationship you have with the outer world. And this is really left brain culture, because left brain is all about the things that are outside to us, all the things that we have consensus about, not things that are related to individuality, originality, your own creativity. So this is why we need a revolution that defines love as something that begins inside. It's something that you cannot, I'm saying that you cannot address or expect someone to love you, or even to say to someone else, I love you, when you cannot say it to yourself, when you cannot feel it in you. And I'm taking it in even further. I'm saying that love, at its basis, it's not directed to anyone or to anything. It is a personal experience, being in a state of love, knowing this feeling of love before I direct this energy outwards or to anyone. I love him, I love her, I love doing this, I love doing that. Can you feel the energy of love? I have no doubt that love is a specific energy that we can feel in ourselves and we can know in ourselves, and that we have forgotten. Since we were born with all this left brain culture, we were raised to forget this basic essence. This is why I'm saying that this is the basis for everything. From here, everything can grow. So the goal here is to return to a state where I can feel the energy of love within me, even if I don't like anyone, even if I'm not friends with anyone, even if I cannot explain it, because love is not something that we can explain, like all other right brain treasures. We cannot explain them. Can we explain intuition? Can we explain spirituality? Can we explain creativity? Can we explain joy? Can we explain passion? No, these good things, this good stuff is not explainable, yet it exists. So this revolution begins with increasing the ability to feel love inside me and to know love from my personal experience, in which I'm not trying to prove, as I told you in previous meetings, we're not here to make proofs, and many times the demand for proofs deny us from right brain's wisdom. So I don't need to prove that I have love within me. And I believe that the more I have love within me, the less I can harm other people. The more I feel love within me, I feel more connected to everything else. And once someone else hurts, I hurt also. But it begins with me, within me. So before I go to other stuff related to self-love, this is for me the main goal. This is, I would say, right brain skill or right brain phenomenon, to be able to feel love. Let's say you go and you enter a park or place with nature, and you just go among the trees and you sit there. No one else is there, and you feel something good in your body, in your mind. You feel something that you cannot explain. You feel good with yourself and with life. You may feel love without directing it to anything else. I'm saying that this feeling is something we can achieve, we can remember, we can practice through self-love gestures, self-love exercises. So the recommendation, for example, is to practice smiling in the mirror every time we see our reflection, every time, and see whether it's awkward, whether it's strange, we are not used to it. Are we facing our reflection seriously and looking for the wrinkles, or do I look well now, or do I criticize myself where I'm seeing, oh, do I make faces? Or can I feel good with me when I'm looking at me? This is the time when I can witness or experience self-love. And there's only me over there, only me. And then we can go on by checking the way we're talking to ourselves. Am I saying love words to myself in a continuous way? Am I supporting myself? Am I standing behind me when I make mistakes, when I fail? Am I my best friend? Am I my best fan? Or do I criticize myself too much, feel that I'm not good enough, etc.? All these things can be influenced heavily by self-love practice. And this is a very important thing about right brain skills. They are all things that we can practice. If we decide to practice, and we can decide not to practice and not have them, we will have the other left brain skills like many other people, and we will be predicted people. We won't have much creativity, we won't have much joy, and we won't have much love. This is what I believe. I believe that as long as you don't feel love within you, as long as you don't understand that love is something that you create inside you, it's not something that you wait for someone else to give you. It's someone that you create within you. And then you may meet someone who also knows how to love themselves, and then you can change, You can send and receive, but from someone who always knows how to give themselves the love, and they're not dependent on you to have love. It's a personal possession. So for many people, only this is a grand revolution. Not only that love is within me, but also that love is something that I can generate. I can generate love. I can create love with me and with other people. Depends on the things that I do. Depends on the way I respond to myself. This depends on my gestures. So the more I invest, this is really something that we invest in. The more I invest attention, and by the way, it's such a small investment. It's, a quick smile in the mirror. It's 10 seconds investment, that's all. Saying something good to myself, 3 seconds investment, that's all. And if we keep on doing this, we have results. We do have results. And I haven't started speaking about other things that will grow in ourselves once we get better with self-love. For example, intuition, the connection to my unique high wisdom that I would like to get more information from. It won't work without self-love. As long as I don't love myself, I don't believe myself. So I don't believe the messages that I get from within. I just rely on someone else, the experts, the people who know, the smart people, the brilliant people. No, I'm not that smart. And the more I love myself, the more intuition says, well, oh, they like me here. I can start expressing myself. I will not be judged. You will not laugh about my bizarre ideas. The same goes for creativity. If you don't love yourself, how can you love your creativity? Will you be able to support yourself when you try to create? In the first steps, well, it won't be that nice or fluent. You need self-love to help you keep going, keep practicing, keep trying to fulfill the creative dream, etc. And we can go to every right brain's skill and see that it depends on self-love. You want to be original. You want to express your uniqueness. Well, how can become unique as long as you don't love the things that in you? All the things that in you need your love. They expect your love. They say, once he will love me, I will go out and see how brilliant I am. But before I get love, I will not. Right brains wisdom, right brains skills, right brain treasures depend on love. They will not go out otherwise. This is the condition. This is the condition, and it's a condition that is not so hard to fulfill or to meet. No, it's only a matter of practice that I recommend to do as many times as we can, knowing that it is a way of creating a light inside the darkness. There is darkness, there is fear, there is doubt, there is self-criticism. Over there, despite them or because of them, we can add some, we can turn on, you can light some matches inside the dark room with self-love practice. And the more we do it, the more we turn the darkness into a lighter, a place that is more in a lighting mode, and things get clearer. And then intuition emerges, and then creativity emerges. But before we do it, nothing will go, nothing will flow. This is the condition, this is the essence. So the recommendation in this revolution is to start with ourselves and to start the revolution over there in the mirror, or when we wake up, or when we go to sleep, to see what is the language that we use when we address ourselves. Is it gentle language? Is it supporting language? Is it compassionate language? Is it tolerant language, etc.? And is it loving? How often do you say to yourself, I love you? I love you, these three words. How often? And how we would like for other people to say it to us. Because we need love, we always need love. Everything is dependent on love. But I would say the irony is that we so ache for love, we so in a need for love, not knowing that it is ready, it is available over there, but we just need to push the button, we just need to make the decision, and even to be brave enough to say, love is coming from me, I will generate it, I will create it, I will practice it, I will enlarge it, I will fill this space with my love. And I'm not dependent on anyone that will approve my love, that will say that I'm okay, that will love me. And it's okay, it's great that someone else will love me, but I cannot rely on this in order to meet love within me. All right? So I think I've said enough. Now it's time for us to talk about this. I would love to hear your questions, insights, thinking, thoughts about this topic. As I said before, I believe that self-love is the basis for mental health. I use it also in my clinic with my clients. This is the basis for any recovery. And, we fall to many dark places. We have crisis for many ways. I mean, we cannot avoid crisis, but the question is how we cope with this crisis. And if we have love within us to cope, we will cope better. And we will grow from this crisis instead of staying stuck over there. Self-love is always a challenge because we also have we are attracted also to anxiety, to depression, to self-doubt, to self-criticism. We have traumas, many things that don't have much love within them. But if we look at it in the right way, all those things actually are calling us to put more love over there and to cope with it with the tools of love. All right. So, who would like to express anything? How many cats do you have there, Varda? One cat. All right. So, who would like to add something, to ask something?
Hi, so maybe I can start.
Okay, David.
If it's okay. I
That's
wrote
great.
something on the chat that love, initials of it is life of valency everywhere, or value. It means value. It means everybody deserves to really experience love. And what you say, according to what you say, and what I am totally agree with, is it's up to us because we are in charge and we are responsible for ourselves. And it's very important to be aware of it. You're not waiting for life to happen to you. You're supposed to be proactive. In Hebrew we say like בעיה, בתוך עצמנו ישנו הפתרון. A problem, it means within us there is a solution. So I could even play with English that living is for everybody, or love is for everybody. It means if we want to feel alive, we have to take life into our hands and be in charge, take action. I say to myself first and foremost, because practically I'm not always doing it. However, I know that I love people, and through loving people, it's something that generates in me excitement that I could call self-love in many ways. So thank you for this beautiful lesson.
Thank you, David. Thank you. I believe that self-love resonates with the right brain's ability to create magic and miracles. And even in the darkest places, people have their potential to create magic, emotional magic, because they have this divine innate ability to love and to sense love within them. But it always related on their ability to make this choice. You can choose otherwise. You can choose not to do it and stay dependent on other people's kindness, etc. Or you can say, I'm responsible also for the love in my life, and I'm starting creating love here and now. You won't have results immediately, but if you invest in self-love practice, you will in time start experiencing moments of, oh my God, it is in me. It is me. I can feel this presence of this good energy. All right. Thank you. Who else wants to talk to us or to ask questions? I will address later in this course the opinion that in every emotional problem, you will find self-love deficiency, every emotional problem. And the opposite is the same. We can treat every emotional problem also with self-love because love is deficient in these states. So it means that we need the addition of love. And again, it starts from ourselves. So, yeah. By the way, if you had questions about previous meetings, we can also address them here. I remember, David, that you asked something about intuition in the group, and I wrote there that we can address these questions here if we don't talk about the current topic, so we have the time also to talk about this. All right. Also, if you have any questions regarding right brain's functions, all questions are appropriate for this lesson. Okay. If you want to talk, I will start making commercials. Okay. I'm sure that everyone has something to ask or to say or to share about this endless topic, love. Here we focus on self-love. And sometimes people have negative opinions about self-love or self-care or self-liking, etc. You can express anything you want, even if you do not agree with the things that I'm saying, it's fine. It's better if you say it so we can make the discussion, we can make some negotiation.
My name is Ayala.
Yeah.
And I would like to share the fact that it's so ancient, the importance of self-love, and even for those who believe in the Bible and God, etc., it's stated already in the book of Leviticus, Vaikra, and Rabbi Akiva, at the age of 40, sat for years and came out with the realization that it's the most important rule of the whole Torah. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love thy neighbor as thyself. And being so much in a hurry when we speak sometimes, people seem to have omitted the ending, which is in fact the essence of both sentences in Hebrew and in English. The most important is at the end of the sentence, but it's the essence of it. So, and if I play David for a moment, the balloons David, some effort leads forward. Self-love.
Beautiful. Some effort leads forward.
It can be like special excitement, like friendship.
So we can continue, and David is endless.
By the way, if I can add to Ahavat L'Reacha Kamocha, I want to say that Erech is like Reacha in Hebrew. Erech is value, Reacha is your friend. You have the same value. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. It means you're not more valuable than him, which can put also space for love for him and you.
So you gave me two ideas now. First, I think that self-love should be taught, like I'm doing here, because at first it's the harder way. It requires more effort to love yourself than not to love yourself.
Amazing.
It requires some effort. So you can have two ways. One way you can choose the way of some effort, The other way, you don't even need to choose it. It will choose you. It will take you automatically. So if you turn on the light, you took the light, the way of the light. If you don't, darkness will take you. It's okay. You don't need to invite darkness. It's always there waiting for you. So it is a challenge. It is a challenge to stand there in front of the mirror, especially when you don't feel that happy, and still say, I love you. And still say, I choose to practice loving you. This is a goal. This is a mitzvah in Hebrew, I would say, like Ayala said. Love thy, I don't know how to say the English as good as you, but love your friend the way you love yourself. This is
I put it in the WhatsApp group, Pinky.
Okay, this is kind of ancient English, and you're better than me in languages in general. So one thing to say that it is a challenge. It is not that easy. But the irony here is that if you don't take this challenge, life will be harder for you. Life will not really be easy. You just give up the challenge, and then you'll have grander challenges because you'll have more darkness. That's it. That's the rule. You can invest in love, or all darkness will be invested in you. All right. So it is a challenge, but the challenges will be much harder if you don't choose the challenge. I saw you, Viola. The other thing David reminded me, is that the more we love ourselves, the less we need to compare ourselves to others. Everyone can be beautiful. Everyone can be successful, because everyone can generate love within. And let's say that the main thing we compete for in our life is actually love, attention, more likes in Facebook, etc. Admiration. People will say, oh, you're good, we like you. Actually, we're looking for love. And then in this competition, some people are more successful so-called, because they succeeded better and are more likable, and others are less successful, so they do not deserve love, don't they? But when we move to the self-love concept, I'm saying that if my most important goal is love, well, I don't need to be successful in the eye of other people to generate love. I may generate money, for example, but not love. Love will be there here waiting for me to say, oh, you are successful already. You are great already. Even if you do nothing, you are the best version of yourself. So I don't need to compete with my neighbor, because I don't need to steal his love, because I have my own. And he can have his own love. It's okay. So we can do something else together instead of competing, because it's okay. There is enough love for everyone, and it is there within everyone's heart. Okay, Viola. And then Anat.
Hi, my name is Viola. I just wanted to say that coming from the country where, like a Christian country, 95% of people are Christians. We grew up, even though if you are not going to the church and so on, but the whole culture is like love your neighbor instead of yourself, and it's like everything what you say here, what is beautiful and holy, it's completely opposite in this culture, So thank you very much for this meeting, because this is really like, you just have to turn things around completely, look at this from the other side. And this is a real revolution, because what is light, really, it's called darkness here. You are so much discouraged to look at yourself with love and like recognize your feelings at the first place, because this is too much love and too much attention to yourself. That we grew up like a lost people, and it never works. But all the time, everybody, generation from generation, it is repeated, and it never works. But somehow we are in the circle all the time, like a roundabout, you know what I mean? And this is super important to hear that. And I think it's also very good that we can meet like international, because I think our mentality and the country we grew up and so on, it's so important and it has such a big influence. But finally, we are the children of the world, and we should be free in a way, So this gives me a lot of joy and a lot of freedom in a way. So this is what I wanted to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I believe that Jesus' messages were twisted. I think Jesus meant that we will love ourselves. But you know how it goes. The church likes to control people. So if people love themselves, it's impossible to control them. They will have their own opinions. They will have their own spirituality. They will have their own gods. All right? They will have their own agendas. No, it's best if we tell them not to love themselves, but to love others. I'm saying that as long as you don't feel love within you, you don't feel God within you. This is chapter 2 in this program.
Amazing.
He's asking, who is your love? And I'm definitely not the only one who says that love and God equals. And if you want to feel the divine presence within you, you don't need to pray. You don't need to go to the synagogue or to the church. You can sit in your room, everywhere you are, everywhere. You don't need to go to some special workshop or retreat or anything. In your room, in your bedroom, in your bathroom, everywhere. Love goes with you everywhere, awaiting you to say hello, to say, I believe you are here. You exist in me. Now, as children, not developed enough, we are dependent on our parents' love. This is the place we were supposed to be trained to find love within us. And if our parents were just human, who also were trained not to love themselves, did not know how to deliver this message, so generation after generation, we fail to love. Okay? And this is the calling here. This is indeed a revolution, because once there is a norm within the, I would say, Western society, we are the modern civilized people, but we don't know how to love ourselves. So this calls really for a revolution, and this is a silent, sweet revolution. We don't need to hurt anyone with this. We don't need to break any wall. We don't need to go to demonstrations. All we need is to smile to ourselves and say, I love you, again and again and again, and start making choices that are okay with our self-love. Self-love will say, this is a good choice for you, and this is not a good choice for you. Not what other people will say it is good for me or good for them. My self-love will agree or will disagree. This is the place where I get my decision from, not something else. Okay, Anat, California.
Wow. It's pretty amazing. I just, we're talking about self-love, but I feel that all the right brain abilities are a choice. Left brain is like automatic. We go there, boom. There's no choice. That's what we learn. That's how we live. And all the right, intuition and all these goodies are a choice. So like you mentioned effort. Yeah, we need to choose it. We need to choose. I mean, we have this option to choose ourselves. And that's the beauty. And thank you, Viola, for, wow, this was huge. Knowing that. I didn't know
Viola,
that.
I will cut your speech and I will distribute it in YouTube everywhere, your speech about about the generation and the influence in your country. So you'll be okay with this. So I agree with Anat. It's a matter of choice. And do we know that we have this free choice? We have this free choice to decide that love is with me and I can create it. This is revolutionary. Love is not something that you need to search for in other places. I have no love, nobody loves me, etc. Nobody wants me. I went to so many dates and I don't find love. I don't know where love is. Well, love is there in you right now. Stop everything and start practicing love. And I believe that only when you do this, when you nurture this ability, then you can play with someone else and create a relationship based on two people that are busy first and foremost in loving themselves. So no one is dependent regarding having love from someone else, but we can do great things together. We can create new forms of love, but not when we came to this relationship empty and feeling that, oh, this person will fill me with love. Now I have love. Okay? And okay, nice. Thank you, Viola. Thank you, Anat. Who else? Thank you, Ayala. Who else wants to add something or to ask something? Okay, Stav. Stav from Israel.
So this is a little bit philosophical question. Can the first connection with the parents, which sometimes damaged us from self-loving and loving them, and they loving us, and they loving each other, and it's theoretical thinking, can it be fixed?
Are you asking, can we fix retrospectively? What do you
Yes.
think?
We can try, and there is no insurance for that. We can do our best.
All right, so I will tell you my philosophy. Okay? We came from love. We came from the source, which is love. And then we forgot it. And I'm saying that no matter what your consequences are, love remains a potential that you can activate. All of us are post-traumatic one way or another. All of us were hurt during childhood by parents who were also hurt during their childhood, and their parents, to Abraham, I don't know, I don't know when. It goes from generation to generation. But this divine spark is within us, and we can choose to start healing it. So the more you practice it, the further you go in healing this ability of loving yourself, despite the deficiency you had in your childhood and the wounds that you carry from there. It will be painful. Some of the reasons we fail to do it because we have so many wounds regarding the lack of love from childhood, so we are afraid to visit these places where it is too painful to remember that there was no enough love over there when we were children. So we prefer to forget, we prefer to deny it, we prefer to say love doesn't exist, or love will be there in a kind of tremendous love story, etc. So we prefer not to go there. But I'm saying the message here is that love is kind of something you can activate. And no matter your consequences, no matter your past, do not let your past be your excuse. Practice and feel it. I remember when I first met these issues from Louise Hay's book, she was my first teacher or my second teacher about self-love. And then I started practicing. Oh my God, I was so happy And then I went to a class and I told some friend, I have love. And she told me, oh, you have a new girlfriend. No, I don't have a girlfriend. I just have love. And it may sound bizarre at first, but when you feel it, you know it. It is a warm feeling. It is expanding feeling that belongs to you. It is yours. And you can generate it from within. And there is another thing to say about right brain, that everything activates everything. For example, if you manage to participate in, let's say, intuitive creation, spontaneous creation, which is right brain function, then during this action, you feel the love activated. When you practice your love, your creativity starts growing. Everything activates everything. And then your intuition suddenly comes with new insights, a whole celebration. In many places, I'm saying that from the psychological and even society point of view, love begins everything. But with right brain, you can begin everywhere, and everything activates everything, but you need to practice. So if you practice your intuition, you practice self-love. If you practice self-love, you practice creativity. You don't know that it works, but it will. Okay, so we have just 2 minutes. Anyone else wants to say something, to add something, to ask something? Any requests? Anything?
I just want to say, I love how you bring this awareness, and I know that awareness is the first step for change. So this is wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And with all these, I would say, technological development that don't make us really smarter. Maybe life is a little bit more comfortable so we can have Zoom meetings, but we have a price that we pay with all the fast developing technology, that we forget the natural technology that we came here with, that we need so much. For example, the technology to create love. It is something that is in our hands, in our fingers, in our eyes. And I would like to encourage you to start practicing today. And if you are a beginner, it will be strange. I saw you, Ayala. It will be strange at first. You won't believe yourself. You feel that it is phony, it is artificial, it is bizarre. Continue, do it again and again and again until something in your heart will soften and open and say, well, that's nice. So if you smile in the mirror for 10 seconds, this is one experience. If you smile in the mirror 20 seconds, this is a different experience. If you do it for a whole minute, try and see. You will feel the warmth of love within you, but you need to hold this smile for a minute. It's not easy. To smile in the mirror for a whole minute. And if you get tired, do it again. And then you may start laughing for no reason. So love came home, love is with you. And then you will forget it. And then things will get worse for you. And then you need to practice again and again and again. Ayala, and then we end.
Yeah, since Anat mentioned awareness and you mentioned practicing, I would like to bring to the awareness of the friends here who are not yet practicing self-love by sharing what good they did for themselves today, to join our Zoom in English daily, 6 p.m. Israel time. And that is the main host. And it's a lot of fun and pleasure and good.
So, Ayala, please write more about this for the people who don't know it, so they will join us today or another day. So we have a special project in Israel since the October events in 2023. We wanted to create a better environment online, so we created some project, beginning the day with love and ending the day with love. So people met in the morning and said what they are about to do for themselves during the day. And then in the evening, they met and said what are the things that I did for myself today? So it was a meeting based on focusing on self-love. All right, thank you all.